Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Just One More Level podcast. I'm your co host, John,
And I'm Christian.
and Merry Christmas, everybody. It is Christmas Eve, and we have a lovely lineup of games for you that we have played this past week, and they're all Christmas themed to a point, and we had a lot of fun playing them. These are all-star games, legends in their own right. Am I right, Christian?
Tons of fun. Let me tell you, some of the best Christmas titles I've ever played. Oddly enough, three of them would make better Halloween titles than Christmas titles. But
Right.
yeah. Regardless,
Yeah. All right. So, everybody, first up on our list is a horror game in the same style that horror indie games have been in for the past about 6 years, ever since Slender came out. It's a first-person survival horror game where the gimmick is you just walk around and avoid some kind of monster that you can't see until it is too close to you and it kills you.
just
Um,
Santa Claus, obviously.
Santa Claus, yeah.
Yeah,
This is Santa Claus, a pun.
yeah, with a W.
Similar to Nightmare Before Christmas, the Sandy Claus,
Right.
right? But there's nothing to this game. Just
Nothing to this
no.
game.
You have
And
two
this
options.
is a paid for game. I just want to put that
Yeah.
out there. This is
Yeah.
you have to buy. This isn't free. If
No.
this was free, I would have had significantly less issues with it.
Yeah,
But it's not. Now it is only 99 cents.
I cannot
It's
believe the
cheap.
audacity though
But yeah, this is wow.
of charging 99 cents for these.
Wow. Yeah, so
Yeah.
what the game is, since we really didn't explain much, you're
Right.
dropped into a house on Christmas Eve at 10
Mhm.
o'clock, and you can just start exploring and walking around and just you have this little tiny house that you can walk around and interact with some things. And
Yeah.
if you look close enough, there's a note from your parents saying that they're out. And to make sure you're a good boy, turn off all the lights and go to bed before midnight, and do not eat Santa's cookies. That's all the directions you get. And then you go to bed, and that's the end of the game.
Mhm.
So you turn off the lights, you go to bed, and you win. You wake up Christmas morning, you get your presents, and that's it.
Yep.
Right, John? That's the whole game.
Well, you have two options. You can either interact with everything in the house, which gives you an achievement, and then go to bed, or you can just go to bed, which is an option. You can at 10:02 you can rush straight back to the bedroom if you know where it is, go to sleep, and get your presents the next day and win the game. But there's obviously two ways to play. If you eat Santa's cookies, you are treated to a horribly pixelated jump scare. Um, and then you get to wake up in some kind of maze,
Yeah.
which I don't understand. It's not necessarily Christmas themed. There's snow on the ground, and there's just brick walls on either side of you and a lot of like grass.
There's a light off in the distance.
Yeah, which I can't tell if it's like the moon or the Christmas star
It's
on
the
the top of the
star on
tree.
top of the tree, I'm pretty
Is it?
sure.
Is that what's
I'm
supposed to
pretty
guide
sure. Yeah.
you? Okay, that makes more sense. Because I had to have Amber look up a turn by turn for the maze because I was just
Right.
wandering through this maze for 10 minutes, not understanding
Yes.
how to avoid
So
the
did you
monster.
say how you get to the maze?
Yeah, you eat
I'm
the
not sure if I
cookies.
just blanked because I hated this game so much that
I
I might have
think-
just
I
ignored
think I
everything you
said
said. But
No, you eat
so
the
yeah.
you eat the Christmas cookies. If you eat Santa's cookies, he comes to get you, and
Drops you in a maze for some reason.
it just drops you in a maze. And death doesn't matter in this
Nope.
game. You don't have to start the game over. Once you get to the maze, if you die in the maze, it just starts you back at the beginning.
That's it.
But there's no way to tell what you're doing and why. Like in Slender, the 8 pages, you know the goal. You can hear when Slender Man's coming up on you because the video static or whatever, and you can see him in the distance, and your goal is to collect 8 pages, and you have to avoid him while you're doing that. And that's pretty straightforward, but at least it's more fun than just wandering a maze for no
Yep.
apparent reason. And the textures.
And to be fair,
are-
while you're doing the maze though, Santa Claus is hunting you down during that
Yeah.
experience. So it's not like there's nothing going on, but
Right.
it's literally just a maze with Santa Claus trying to get you. Like that is it. And I'll tell you, so you mentioned you had to have your wife look up a guide on how to get through the maze there.
Yeah.
I discovered So the first time I got to the maze, I died very quickly.
Yeah.
The second time, I did the good old follow the right hand wall trick. And
Okay.
it turns out that if you never stop running and you just stick to the right wall,
Hmm.
Santa Claus can never get you.
Yeah, I figured that out. The first couple of times I died because when he came towards me, I thought that was it. I thought
Right.
that was death. But it turns out you can just walk right through him
Yep.
and keep
Yep.
going.
Just keep going. So that's what I
It
did. My
doesn't
second
matter.
time, I just picked the right hand wall
Hmm.
and I just followed it. I just stuck to it for, I don't know, a few minutes. And suddenly there was a Christmas tree in front of me and I clicked it and it was like, not this year. And then that was it. I woke
Yeah.
up back in my house and it was like everything was fine. It
Right.
was fine.
Right. So
So,
I'm watching the video playback. He's coming after you. Yeah. When he's coming at you like that, I just assume that's the death animation. Like when he gets close enough to
yeah,
you,
no,
that would be
turns
it.
out you can outrun Santa no problem at all.
None at all. And
Yeah.
he's a flat 2D pixel art structure. He
Yeah,
has
think
no
like Doom,
mass.
like original Doom or
Yeah,
Wolfenstein style
exactly
thing.
like
Think
that.
something like that. Yeah.
And I was
In fact, the
so
maze as a whole is very much like that. Besides the
yeah,
like the grass on the
but
ground, but
at least the maze exists in a 3D space. Like
yeah,
it has dimension and to a degree texture. But
yeah,
Santa's just I only picked this because I was just looking for something. You have no idea how hard it is to find a Christmas game that isn't like this. This is pretty much all there is for like low cost indie stuff. You know,
right,
there was a couple options that were a little higher priced, and they were like a few of them were top down adventure, top down RPGs, side scrolling adventure, random things like that. A lot of them are kind of point and click games, and they're meant for very young audiences.
right,
Um,
yeah,
so I was just trolling Steam and itch.io and different sources like that to try to put together some kind of list that we could play. And I threw together I threw this one into the mix because I was looking through Steam and I remembered in years past a lot of famous YouTubers will play games like this around Christmas time because it's kind of a gimmick to put a
right,
horror spin on Christmas.
sure.
Um, so I've seen a lot of YouTubers play stuff like this, and Thirstiest Time of the Year, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, is very similar to
It's
this.
very much a meme game, yeah.
It's a meme game for sure,
And
and it's yeah.
but as far as this game goes, I mean, I don't think there's really anything else to talk about. I
No,
would
other
not
than
play one more level.
no,
And I would suggest nobody else pay 99 cents. I hate doing that because I'm sure this is just like one lone guy that put it together or whatever. And the game
right?
runs fine. Like technically, it's
Yeah,
a fine game. It's just
yeah,
it really if he had put it out as like a free download on itch or even on Steam or whatever, just as
yeah.
like a fun little thing, I would have been perfectly fine with it. But don't
The
charge
odd
99 cents for
no, the
yeah,
audacity.
yeah.
Is
That's
this the
my whole
one?
issue with the game.
Is this the one that you asked for a refund for?
Yes, so that's
Yeah,
something I gave John a little sneak peek. I've never asked for a refund of a game before on Steam.
yeah,
I played this for I think a grand total of 13 minutes, I think, and I
yeah.
was just I nope. Like
Right.
I mean, it was only 99 cents, but it was like John said, just the audacity, the
Yeah.
audacity of it. Like, who charges nine? Like Slender was a free game, and there was more
Right.
to it than this. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I don't. I don't know. And I'm
I
sorry, man. Again, I highly doubt you'll ever see this. Same with like anybody or any other game that we harp on. But it's like, if you
right.
do, I'm sorry. Your game is technically fine. It's just,
Right.
man, come on. Or woman, whatever you are.
Right.
99 cents. Just give it away for free.
Right. Yeah, like just for the clout. Just for
Yeah, for the
the
laws. Like,
yeah.
just,
Get it out there. Like get your name out there and whatever. You clearly know how to build in a game engine.
right.
And produce very like programmer art textures,
Right. I
which
mean,
is
yeah,
all you
everything
need
about the
for
game was at least decent.
yeah.
Like there were some small problems I had with like the controls felt a little floaty on the mouse and things like that, but nothing
Yeah.
major. It was just like
Right.
my only real issue with the game is that there was
It
nothing
costs
here for 99
99 cents.
cents. Yeah.
I
Like
thought it was going to be so much more because I didn't look at like a trailer or anything. You know what I mean? I just looked at, I was like, all right, what do we got? And I was like, hey, this is cheap. It's only 99 cents. That's probably going to be a nice experience. And I was expecting a little more than this. I was expecting
Yeah,
some kind of
that's fair.
some kind of a plot or something. Why
Right?
is Santa chasing me? Things like that. But yeah. Sorry about this
The
one.
game we
Um,
played last week, we went back, is
yeah,
free. And it
yeah,
took a team of people 6+ months to make.
right.
And it is so much better.
Oh my
like,
God, yeah, that game was
and it's
amazing.
free. And it's
Yeah,
free. And then 99 cents for this? Dude, just take off your 99-cent price tag. Like John
right,
said, it'll help get your name out there. And
right.
the game's not bad. Like, it's
Yeah,
just,
because that's
don't charge
probably
for
what's
this.
turning people off about buying it. And if you get those bad reviews on Steam about it being a charged game,
Right.
that's going to hurt you so much more than having a free game that people don't like that much. Because
Exactly.
yeah, but anyway, that was Santa Claus. No, I would not play just one more level.
Me neither. Not even a bit.
Other than the tiniest itch that I have in the back of my soul, to get all of the Steam achievements.
I didn't even care about that.
Yeah,
I'm just,
there's
nope.
the 6 total Steam achievements, and they're incredibly easy to achieve. So, and I got the 4 main ones just like you did, I think. So, yeah. But that was Santa Claus, and
That was a thing. That was a game that we played for
that
you guys.
that was
Hope
a
you
game.
enjoyed.
Gets one word.
What's the next one, John?
All right.
Thirsty.
Thirsty. Let's go ahead and transition to the next one.
Yeah, so we're gonna cut it here for everybody on the YouTubes and things, but
Hmm.
we will be, or for on Twitch, I mean, for everybody
Right.
else, it'll just be seamless. So
Right. And we are back, folks. We're back with the next game, and it's going to be Thirstiest Time of the Year, a meme game, which is based off of a commercial that has ran for a few years now on cable. And it's all about Sprite Cranberry.
that's
Um,
Sprite Cranberry.
that smooth Sprite Cranberry with a ginger kick. All right. So this is like I said, this is obviously a meme game. This is you versus LeBron James, or whatever they call him for copyright purposes
Yeah,
in this.
yeah, you'll see it pop up if you watch the video or the stream at some
Yeah.
point. I can't remember. I can't pronounce it, even if I
Um,
tried. Like,
but the whole thing was started a few years ago. I think 2018, Christmas season 2018, is when this came out, because that's when that commercial started getting big. And the commercial itself is just a claymation commercial featuring LeBron James, and he just kicks down a family's door at Christmas time, offering them holiday Sprite cranberries,
right?
Black Brown Jahims.
Yeah,
Um, so a lot of people were kind of creeped out, not only because of the home invasion, but because the animation style that they went for. They tried to go for that classic Christmas, what do you call it, stop motion animation. But
kind of
it's
claymation almost.
kind of
Yeah,
claymation, yeah, but it's
yeah.
done by a computer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of uncanny valley, and that prompted somebody to make a meme horror game.
Yeah, and
um, which
so
a
you're
few of
just
the
dropped into a house,
yeah.
and you hear knocking at the door, and you have a
Hmm.
narrator kind of telling you at the bottom of the screen kind of
Uh,
what to do, and a little to-do list up in the top hand corner.
yeah.
So you go down to check the door, and you just see him standing outside your door, just kind of knocking on it. And if you answer the door, he comes in and beats you up, basically kills you.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't answer it and just try to hide from him, then
Hmm.
he eventually kicks down your door and comes in and waits for you to come downstairs to kill you.
Right.
So the whole point is you have to try to find a way to fight him off long enough to escape to a gas station, I guess,
Yes.
to get
Yes.
help. And
Right.
that's the whole game. So
That's it.
kind of like the last game, it's a very short experience. There's not much to it. The big difference is this
Hmm.
one was free. So
Yep. This
so
one
I
was
am
free.
okay with this game.
This one was free, made on the Unity engine, I believe.
I believe so,
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
and it the creator is very self-aware. This game is just for the lulz, but
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
everything about this game outdoes the Santa Claus. The lighting, the textures, um just everything. The gameplay itself, I mean, it's a little glitchy and buggy because he probably didn't take like a month to playtest this.
Right. Yeah, I'm
He,
sure he
you
did. Yeah.
know, he just beta tested it a little bit and slapped it out there. But I love, for some reason, you can watch like probably up to about 10% of the Grinch
Right. Just playing on
on
the
the
TV
TV.
in the living
Yeah,
room. Yeah.
I stood
No
there and
idea why,
waited.
but it's just playing on your
Hmm.
TV. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it. There are some small
No.
issues with the game other than just the glitches. The mouse control is very poor, in my
Yeah.
opinion. It feels floaty,
And there's no
extremely
way
floaty.
to modify the sensitivity or
I think there
anything
might be a
like that.
sensitivity option, but you still can't
Really?
change how like floaty. It feels almost like there's acceleration going or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's one other bug. So after you collect the Fanta, because obviously the
Yeah.
Fanta fights
The
off
Fanta.
the LeBron James here.
Yeah.
After you collect that, the next goal that you have is to seek help at the gas station. It
Right.
doesn't tell you which way the gas station is, so I just picked a direction and started running.
Right.
Once you get about halfway across the entire world's map,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James just stops following you for some reason.
Really?
And then I continued going anyways, got to the
Uh-huh.
edge of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, he put up an invisible wall so you couldn't fall off or anything. But then I had to
Mm-hmm.
turn around and come all the way back.
You're
He
right.
just was gone
Really?
completely. Yeah, I could still hear
No
him.
way.
I could hear him like singing and making like the
Uh-huh.
noise he makes and whatnot. You'll see him pause on stream in just a
Yeah.
second. But yeah, like I could still hear him singing and things like that, but he was nowhere to be found. So I was able to just mosey my way over to the gas station, and that was it. I beat the
Wow.
game that way. So
Yeah, because I did a little more like trying to test him
Mhm.
and like see how his mechanics worked and everything. And there's a really famous glitch on this where if you immediately go the direction of the gas station, I did it and I watched Markiplier play this,
Okay.
and he did the same thing. If you, because what I tried to do is walk backwards away from him so that I could see when he was getting close to me and I could pelt him with a Fanta.
Right.
Um, but
Obviously.
if he gets close to you and you pelt him with a Fanta and you're moving backwards towards the gas station, he'll fall onto the ground and then drag himself towards you.
What the hell? Yeah, definitely didn't know about that. I would have
But
tried
it
it had I
looks
known about that.
but it looks like he's being drugged by like a rope. Like you have some
Okay.
kind of bungee cord attached to you,
And
and
you're
it
just dragging
bungees
LeBron
him.
James.
Yeah, and
Oh
it
Lord.
bungees him across the ground like towards you, but it like accelerates towards you because he's trying to track you down. So if you pelt
That's
him and he's in that range and you don't turn around and start running before you turn back around to see where he is, it'll drag him along and it's an insta kill. And when it drags him along close to you, he pops up inside of your body, so you see like halfway through him, and then he punches you to
oh
death.
Lord.
Yeah, it's a really weird glitch. I encourage you to go check out Markiplier's video or whatever.
Or
It's
I
in a
mean, again,
free.
since it's free game, you can also just download it yourself and
Yeah,
try it out too.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely go play it. This guy deserves all the recognition in the world. It's on itch.io. You
Yep.
just pretty much Google search "Thirstiest Time of the Year"
Yeah, it should pop
and
up.
it'll pop up for you. It's free to play. It's fun if you're looking
Yeah,
for some
yeah, it
time to
was worth a
kill.
laugh. Would I
Hmm.
play just one more level? I mean, I beat the game. There's really not much more to it, so I wouldn't play it
No,
again unless it's to try out that specific glitch. But
right?
I'm not mad that I spent the 10 minutes playing this game that I spent, though, right?
No,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
totally worth it for a free game, for a free download. Do it. I mean,
right.
100% do it. Especially
Absolutely.
if you watch TV, saw that commercial, and thought it
Hmm.
was funny or creepy or whatever, then even more so. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's just. I mean, the level of gameplay is pretty much just proof of concept.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's very
yeah,
much again. It's kind of like similar to the Slender sort of thing. You're just running around
right.
collecting things. The only
Hmm.
difference in this one is that you can pause your enemy,
Right.
your not your prey, but whatever
Your hunter.
your hunter, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can stop the person hunting you in their tracks for a short
Yes.
period of time. Like that's the only
Right.
real difference. And
Right.
it's shorter, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. It's it was an interesting experience. I'm not mad that I played this at all.
Not at all. I was
I
kind of
also would
upset
not.
when it ended because you get to
Yeah,
the gas station and it just ends. It's just like, well, that's it. And it's like, wait,
yeah,
what? Like that? I can't go in the
yeah.
gas station. I can't get help. LeBron's not gonna like try to break
Right.
into the gas station. We're gonna have to fight him off or anything like that.
Yeah,
So I was a little surprised, a little bit upset about that. But I
yeah.
mean, if the worst thing
Creator.
about your game is that it ended too early, the worst part about your free game is that it ended too early, then I mean, I
Right.
guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Developer, I'm speaking directly to you. I'm gonna need this fully fleshed out.
yeah, please.
Um,
I need at least a
well,
10-hour experience here.
I
Come on.
need a 10-hour Cranberry Ghost experience. We're gonna get you set up on Kickstarter. We're gonna crowdfund this.
Let's do it.
10-hour
I'll-
experience. And I want the full. I want like a Fallout experience. I want like a Borderlands
Oh
experience.
yeah,
with
yeah.
this.
Make it
I want
open
some
world.
high
Give me some
paced,
guns. Yeah,
open
give me
world,
some
high
crafting.
paced action. I need skill trees.
Right. Really,
Get
I
it
just
going.
want you to recreate Fallout 4, but I want LeBron
Yeah.
James to be following me around singing about Cranberry.
The
Sprite the
entire
entire
game.
time. Yeah, the
The
entire time.
entire game.
Yeah, and if I don't periodically throw Fanta at him, I want to just have to start over
Stealth.
from the beginning.
The most intense stealth game that's ever been
Yeah,
made.
permadeath, permadeath. Like you die,
Permadeath.
that's it. Yeah, you have to
Absolutely.
start over.
Yeah. Minecraft hardcore.
Yeah. Honestly, I would play it. I probably
That's what
wouldn't
I
beat it, but I would definitely play it.
Right.
Oh my god, if nobody's made a mod for Fallout 4 yet, just
Right.
fucking turn it into a mod. Let's just do it.
Yes.
Like, just
Let's do it. We'll do
somebody
it.
should just do
Come
that.
on.
Like
They're
I've
making
never
the new
modded
Vegas
a
mod.
Bethesda game before, so I don't know how, but like shit, we might be able to figure that out. Like
Got this.
stay tuned. Christmas 2021, LeBron James,
2021.
Cranberry Sprite, Fallout 4 mod coming at you.
The Cranberry Ghost mod is what's going to be happening. I will get on Blender right now
Start modeling up some
and start
some
modeling
LeBron
up
James.
some LeBron James. Yeah, absolutely, fully textured, fully
Lord.
claymation. We got this.
I love it.
Easy.
I love it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's pretty much it for Thirstiest Time of the Year. A very non-offensive experience.
Yeah.
that
Totally worth
serves as a good laugh. So give this dev some love. Check them out. Thirstiest Time of the Year on itch.io. And that will just about do it for Thirstiest Time of the Year. Up next is going to be Santa's Delivery Mission.
Yeah. So that'll be
Which
fun.
that is going to be fun. But we're going to go ahead and pause it in the stream. It's going to be seamless for you on YouTube or however you're listening to this. But Twitch, it's going to take us a couple minutes to get things set up. So we'll see you guys in just a minute. And welcome back, everybody. The next game that we're going to be talking about today is Santa's Delivery Mission, a delightful little arcade game that was made for a game jam featuring only two buttons.
Two button jam.
Two button jam, which is really unique, and I love this game. I love it.
Again, for a free game, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
It's kind of like think Flappy Bird, but
Right.
instead of pipes at the top of the screen, there's icicle blocks, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really know exactly what they're supposed to be, but some sort of spikes that kill you.
Yep.
And you're Rudolph, that because you're Santa Claus, you play as Santa Claus, and you're being pulled along by a Rudolph-like character. And his
Right.
bright red nose is a laser beam that can break the ice blocks. And the
Yep.
whole time you're trying to survive and just make it through the levels, you're also trying for bonus points. You don't have to do this, but for bonus points, you're also trying to throw presents down into chimneys that you're passing. And just
Right.
like Flappy Bird, you're constantly moving right. You have no control over your speed or anything like that. So it's really just a very arcadey experience trying to dodge/destroy obstacles, fight off enemies, which I don't think either of us were good enough to really do, and then and deliver presents all at the same time. And it's delightful.
It is. It's I think by far the most Christmassy
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
the best Christmas themed game I've probably ever seen.
Yeah, well, I
as
mean,
far
Christmas,
as like actual Christmas.
that's a pretty low bar, to be honest. But
True.
yes, it
Yeah.
is. It's. I mean, there are
Which,
some elements that don't quite make sense, like Rudolph having a laser beam for a nose,
Right.
and later on there's other people trying to, like, evil Santa is trying to murder you basically.
Right.
So I mean,
Creative
it
liberties.
doesn't. Yeah, there's some creative licenses taken here, but
Mhm.
it is excellent. It's another free
Yeah.
game, and it's just
Yep.
this classic, try to get the high score, have a fun time type of game.
Right.
And the fact
Exactly.
that, and it was made for a 2 button jam, so I mean, he only
Right.
had 2 buttons he could play with, and
Hmm.
I don't know what the other entries in that game jam were like, but I think
Right.
he had an excellent concept here, and
Yeah. Nailed it.
as well as just, yeah, he put it together very well too. It's a very well put together game. The only
Hmm.
complaint I had for the entire thing was that sometimes it seems to, like, Santa himself doesn't seem like he stutters, like he feels pretty smooth, but the
Yeah.
background sometimes feels a little jittery almost to me. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what that is,
Um.
but I mean, that's such a minor complaint, to be honest. Like,
Right.
excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very well done. The controls are simple. Left button shoots you upward, like in Flappy Bird when you
Yep.
tap the screen. And the right button drops presents.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. So I understand why he did Rudolph having a laser beam nose instead of like having a shooting control.
Right, right.
Um, Obviously, because if this were an arcade experience, you'd probably have standard
Missiles or
WASDA.
something that you, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, missiles that you shoot out of the sleigh, or Rudolph would shoot laser beams, like laser beam bullets, laser
Yeah,
bolts
yeah.
out of his nose,
Instead of just one
something
constant
like
laser
that.
beam popping out. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right, but I mean, it's a I think it's a classic example of how sometimes simple is better, and you have examples all throughout media history of limitations on a game increasing the value.
Oh yeah,
Because we were just talking about in our last episode, A Bug's Life, um, how the limitations of the PlayStation didn't allow for certain things to happen. Even in the dev kit had so much more memory, between 4 to 8 times the memory
right.
of the actual console and what they had to work with. So a lot of people had to scale it back and introduce some like render distance tricks
Yeah,
in order
render
to get their
distance
levels to load
problems,
in.
some stuttering as things would load in,
Right.
just all sorts of
So,
problems. Yeah,
and for a game like Silent Hill, that worked for its benefit
yeah. Honestly,
because they
added to
didn't
the
know
atmosphere.
added to the atmosphere. So because that was a cheap way for a lot of PlayStation games that they fixed the render distance issue was adding fog.
Hmm.
Um, and that translates even to modern games. Minecraft, there's render distance fog.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
to
Fog is just a common thing in video games now. I mean,
right,
most video games. It depends on the style of game, I guess. Most video games
right,
use fog to some degree still to this day, but a lot of
right,
modern open world titles will just use other
mm,
tricks like decreasing detail the farther away things get and whatnot to have
right,
practically unlimited render distance and things like that. But
right.
it's
Yeah,
most games still have some sort of fog, and like you said, Minecraft, obviously the biggest example.
right,
You pick your render
hmm,
distance, and then after that, it's basically just Silent Hill. Like, I mean,
right.
honestly, you
Yeah,
set your
but
chunk distance on Minecraft to like 2 or something like that, and you basically are playing Silent Hill at that point. Again, I'm
right,
surprised nobody's made a mod for Minecraft to turn it into Silent Hill. That's another thing. What are you
right.
people doing out there? Come on.
I don't know. Come on, mod community. But there. I mean, there probably is. Have you
Probably
ever
is,
seen that
honestly,
website
yeah.
with all the RAR files? There's an
Right.
actual Minecraft mod
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
allows you to completely, fully, functionally fly a TARDIS
yeah.
that is bigger on the inside and can disappear and reappear at any coordinate on the map.
Uh,
So you know,
yeah.
but like I was saying, to Silent Hill's advantage, they had to add a bunch of render distance fog, and it added to the atmosphere of the game. And same example for I don't know, classic Jaws. Even they couldn't get the damn shark to work. So half of the stuff that they had planned for big scares with the animatronic shark they couldn't do because the
It
stupid
just
thing
wouldn't
kept
work.
breaking down. Right. So Steven Spielberg instead made you afraid of the water. He added suspense to the movie. If you feared the water, you knew the shark was there, even if you could only see a POV cam. And that added to the fear of everything. And I heard all the time people growing up that said, I saw Jaws when I was little and I would never went in the water again.
Right.
And that was the big thing. So it worked to movie's advantage. Instead of having a creature feature, they had a true suspense that had to focus more on characters, and it made the movie better all for it. So who knows if this game did have WASD controls and actual missiles and things, would it be as good?
That's a
Because
fair point.
the gameplay on this is so addictive. It reminds me very much of Flappy Bird and how
Yep.
addictive that was when it came out. And it has the added complex element of trying to time it just right so you can shoot presents down the chimney and things like that. Um, so it's really addicting, and I played this probably the longest out of any of the games on our list.
I didn't
I
play
just
it
sat there and
I didn't play it the longest, but I did play this
Mhm.
one the longest by choice.
Right,
Like the other ones I quit because I beat them so quickly or whatever.
right,
Or um like I just didn't want to play anymore by the time I got to the end of it. This
right,
one I just felt like I got everything I needed from it for the podcast,
right,
but I kept playing because I enjoyed it. I still only played
right,
about 25 minutes of it total,
right,
15 of which I recorded and then some a little bit of time offline. But
right.
yeah, I didn't feel like I needed to do that. I just actually enjoyed it that much that I just wanted to keep playing.
Yeah. Would I play one more level? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
This might become my new solitaire
Right, yeah.
on
When you just need to
on
pass
my
a little bit of
computer.
time. Yeah.
Right, just to kill time. I'm gonna drop some presents down a chimney and go pester the dev like I did. I put a comment on his page on itch.io, and I said you need to make a leaderboard for this game
A
because
leaderboard and
yeah,
a mobile port. This
a
would be
mobile port,
perfect
absolutely.
your phone when you're waiting for a meeting at work or whatever, riding on
Right.
the train, whatever, just need to burn
Yeah.
10 minutes, 15 minutes real quickly. Perfect
Yeah.
experience for that right there. Throw some ads every time you
Absolutely.
die. And
Right.
yeah, I'd be all for that.
Money
Yes,
making
sir.
scheme. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I said make a leaderboard. You guys can add another couple of comments. I'm probably gonna go back and say just make this in browser,
Yeah.
because this could definitely be supported in browser. This
Right. I
reminds me a
think
little
this is
bit of
also a Unity game, and Unity has browser functionality built into it. So I mean, it
yeah,
shouldn't be too
um,
hard to work that out.
right. And I it kind of reminds me too of those old games on like addicting games, those old Flash games
Oh
and
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Um, so but yeah, this is incredible. Christian, would you play just one more level
Oh
of
yeah, certainly. Yep. It's
Santa's
still
delivery mission?
installed, and like you said, if I ever just need to burn like 10 minutes and I have nothing else to do, this would
Mm-hmm.
probably be my go-to quick game. And
Mm-hmm.
if he did or does end up releasing a mobile version of this,
Right.
100%. I'm not a big mobile gamer, but again, it's
Mm-hmm.
just such a great way to waste a few minutes. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's fun. It's a fun
Yeah,
time, and it's
absolutely.
free.
It's free. It's free, unlike the next game that we're going to be playing.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I mean, kind of.
kind of.
Kind of.
It's
Depends.
it's yeah, yeah. It depends.
Hmm.
Um, the next game that we're going to be playing on the list is a game called Spiritual Warfare,
Yeah.
which is an old NES game made by the producer Wisdom Tree, which made exclusively Christian-based games for the NES. In fact, they hold the record of having produced the last Nintendo licensed game ever produced in 1995. So it wasn't this one, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we're gonna play this one. It's very much in the same style of Legend of Zelda, which is a nice little tie-in to our podcast. We started with Legend of Zelda as our first
Yes, we
episode.
did. Yes, we did.
So we're gonna be playing that next for you guys, and just give a couple minutes on stream to set everything up. But for you podcast listeners and YouTube viewers, we'll be with you after this short little Christmassy animation. So stay
Yep.
tuned, and we will see you in just 1 second. Hello and welcome back. Next up on our list today is going to be Spiritual Warfare, which, as I just teased before, is a Legend of Zelda game. Well, not really. It's a,
Yeah,
it's
not
a,
not
it's a,
quite. Come on.
it's a, it's
one
it's
look at the
made.
game and you know it's not a Legend of Zelda game now. Come on.
No, but it's made in almost exactly the same style as the original top-down Legend of Zelda. It's a top-down 2D explorer adventure kind of game. and it has almost identical mechanics for the most part, broadly speaking. In the terms of how the game's laid out, you blow up things to find secret entrances, to go in these little rooms and talk to, instead of a wizard, an angel.
Yeah.
And that's the draw for this game. That's what makes it so interesting to a lot of people, is how kind of like cheesy and blatant all of the
Very,
Christian
very
themed
blatant. Yeah.
rip-off things
Clear
are
to
in
the
the game.
point that every once in a while, instead of like fairies popping up, an angel will pop up and ask
Right.
you questions about Christianity and the Bible.
Yes.
And for
yes.
every answer you get correct, you get 5 extra prayer points.
Right.
And if you get
Which
all
is
5
your-
answers correct, you get
Uh-huh.
an extra 10 prayer points and 2
Right.
heart refills.
Right.
And your prayer points, you may be wondering what those are used for. That's your currency. But it's not
Uh-huh.
only your currency. You can also pray at any time to refill your health.
What?
Yes.
Are
So
you kidding me?
we played on different versions.
Yes, we did. What the fuck?
On the PC version, you can pray at any time to refill your health.
Oh my gosh.
Which seems very broken to me, because there's an item in the game, I forget what they call
Lightning.
it, but there's an item in the game that lets you heal completely. It's basically a potion, but obviously they have some Christian related thing for it. But it's, yeah, you can just pray and heal at any point instead of using those special items. I don't know.
I can't believe that. That's garbage. That's absolute garbage. I died in this game. I died.
I died multiple times as well. So on the PC version, though, there is no penalty to dying. You literally respawn in the exact same spot.
Yeah, and that's the way it was. I played the NES version.
Right.
Christian played the PC Steam version.
Yep.
There was at one time, apparently, on the Wisdom Tree Games website, a free in-browser version of their games.
It was just an emulated version of, I don't know if it was the NES version or if it was the DOS version. I don't know which one. But yeah, it was just an emulator, but in browser, basically, yeah. And so this is a game. I really don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say. The art is passable for the time, I guess. And I will say one thing. So they did like the whole Zelda-like game. I do kind of like how it's set in a more modern setting, though. That was kind of interesting. You walk through a city, you walk through some slums. There's like a train station that you're going through and whatnot. So that was interesting, at least, right? Just having, these environments that you could see in real life, right? Because in Zelda, you're walking through these big open fields and finding castles and caves and exploring dark dungeons and all that stuff. You're not really doing that in real life. So at least with this game, you're exploring places you would in real life. Hopefully you don't run into this many people trying to kill you in real life. Because if you do, that might be an issue. I would say to do something about that. But and hopefully angels aren't coming down to you asking you questions about the Bible. And
which I smoked, by the way. Got my Bible trivia on lock.
I for the most part, I did pretty well as well. I did a few times try, like I got a couple wrong at one point. Nothing happened. So another time came up and I purposefully got every single one wrong to see if anything would happen. It doesn't do anything. You just don't get rewarded. So
it's so I mean I have a fair amount to say about this. So obviously I picked this because famously the Angry Video Game Nerd did a couple of Christmas specials, all based around Wisdom Tree Bible games, just because they're the black sheep of the NES and to an extent the SNES library, and there were even Genesis ports, I guess.
Interesting.
Sort of. I guess some of them didn't really get made, but they were planned. So some weird stuff going on from Wisdom Tree. But I had a plug-and-play console known as the Wisdom Tree TV controller, which I cannot find to save my life on eBay. But that's how I played this. Because when I was a kid, I had a Super Nintendo. I didn't have an actual NES.
Right.
But my mom found from the Book and Bible store a plug-and-play TV controller that had all of the Wisdom Tree NES games. So I played
Huh.
this and Sunday Fun Day, which is a reskin of Venice Beach on the NES, made by Wisdom Tree before they were
Yeah.
Wisdom Tree. They were called Color Dreams
Oh, okay.
before they
Didn't
were
actually
Wisdom
know
Tree,
that.
and they made a game called Venice Beach where you're a skateboarding kid, and that's pretty much it. But they reskinned it instead of trying to get to school, you're trying to get to Sunday school. So some weird stuff happening there. But yeah, so this is nostalgic for me because I played all of these games as a kid. All right, so we had some technical difficulties with the podcast, but we are back. Um, what I was saying about before this little interruption here was that these games are quite nostalgic for me because I played them on a plug and play console as a child, and finishing my thought from there, I had no idea that these were a thing until I started watching the Angry Video Game Nerd later in life. And I was like, no way. I thought for the longest
Yeah,
time,
I've never heard of
yeah,
Wisdom Tree games other than YouTube. Just seeing people play them, talking about how poorly
yeah,
put together they are. Not even like poorly put together
hmm
per se, just kind of how
yeah,
I don't know. Like they're not trash. Like they
right,
function
yeah,
fine. It's just like I guess it's really just because it's a propaganda piece. Like that is the issue with the game. It's a
yeah.
propaganda piece, and
It is. It
yeah,
is
it
a
just
lot.
doesn't
A
it
lot of
doesn't it doesn't tickle my jimmies.
a lot of Christian games of the time and in general are like that, exactly like that, because it's very much
Right.
like PBS After School Special. It's trying to appeal to a younger audience through things that they enjoy, but pushing your propaganda at the same time. I don't think that it's quite offensive as I don't know, say Christian rap. um,
Right. Right. Well, I mean, there's some good
yeah,
Christian rap and rock
yeah.
and whatnot out there, but there's also some
Right.
really
I'm
bad
talking
ones.
like
So
I'm talking
definitely
like
get
the
what you're
things that I
saying.
was subjected to as a child. um
Right.
there's this artist, a lovely Italian man by the name of Carmen who does
Hmm.
Christian music, and some of it is sincere, but most of it is just some like nonsense cheesy crap. And my mom had this entire videotape um, by Carmen, and one of the songs was called "Addicted to Jesus," and it was a
Hmm.
rap song, and he tried his best to seem, I don't know, hip, and it just comes off as awful. Um, but that that
I
that's
can imagine
the
it
just
would. Yeah.
imagine a 50-year-old mafia dude rapping about Jesus for the young kids. it's it's really bad.
I mean,
And
it sounds great to me. I don't know what you're complaining about, but it also sounds like a great
mhm.
analogy. I don't know if analogy is the right word, but analogy for
Yeah,
this game.
yeah,
Honestly, that's they're trying to take something
hmm
hip that the kids enjoy and put a
yeah,
spin on it. And I mean, again, from a technical standpoint, the game for the
yeah,
most part runs fine. There are some small issues, but that could also be related to the fact that I'm playing it, emulated 20
yeah.
years after it came out,
Um,
if not
I
longer.
mean,
And then lack of documentation
yeah.
for like controls and things. Those are the only real problems with the game I
I
had
mean,
from
I
like a
guess
technical
technically
standpoint.
speaking, I was introduced to this game through emulation. I played on
Oh yeah, playing on the your
playing on
little
my plug and
TV
play.
plug and
Yeah,
play thing. Yeah.
that's how I was first introduced to the game. But when I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I didn't know any different. I thought this was just a game, and I thought this was a really cool collection of games that my mom found, and this was all the rage, and nobody knew what the fuck I was talking about when I was
Right. That's
yeah,
the thing. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of these until I started getting hard
right.
into YouTube and just
Um,
watching people make fun
but
of those Wisdom Tree games, the terrible like Wolfenstein
right,
Doom
yeah,
knockoffs
and
and
I
all
didn't even
that.
know
Like,
about those because that was SNES, and that was a really rare
right.
cartridge to get. Because for anybody that doesn't know, pretty much the people that made the source code for Wolfenstein 3D made it open source, so anybody could take their stuff and reskin it and
Yeah,
do different things
reskin
with
it
it. So
basically.
there's a
Yeah.
pretty famous Cinnamon Toast Crunch reskin of Doom that was given away free inside of cereal boxes, and there was also a reskin of
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 3D that was made into a Christian game called Super Noah's Ark 3D, where you
Yep.
slingshot
Yes,
sleeping
there
fruit
was.
at animals on the Ark, and very few animals on the Ark. I think it's just sheep or goats. You knock them out.
I've never actually played it. Only ever seen some
Yeah,
clips
but
of it on
the
YouTube. So,
cartridge was so
yeah,
bootleg that you had to take it and plug an actual licensed Super Nintendo game into the top of it to
to trick
right
the security
to trick
lockout
the
chip.
chip and to
Yeah.
get it to work. But it was pretty crazy. I didn't know about that one at all. Um, but yeah, a bunch of weird games. When is Telltale Games gonna make the Lego? um. That's a good point that we just got that I'm gonna probably edit and post. But we are streaming this as we're recording this, and somebody just brought up when is Telltale Games going to make the Lego the Bible? On that point, Wisdom Tree actually made the Bible as a game for the Game Boy. You could buy a King James version or a New International version of the Bible in its entirety and read it on a Game Boy like an e-reader. I don't know how many batteries you'd burn through doing that, but that was a real thing that the same company that made this game made. So like we were saying, this game is barely Christmas themed. It's only Christmas through loose association of Jesus. But I thought it would be a fun little thing to do because, like I said, Legend of Zelda is a callback to our first episode on the podcast, and
As well as his just deep love
my
of
deep love of
AVGN over
Angry
there,
Video Game
so.
Nerd, who did Wisdom Tree episodes for 2 of his Christmas specials, and also this is what I would have been playing on Christmas as a child. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's how it all ties back into Christmas, folks. But so Christian, would you play just one more level of spiritual warfare?
I paid real money for this.
Did you buy
Maybe
the
I
super
bought the
pack
pack
that
on
comes
Steam. Yeah, it was only like $8 or something like
that
that.
comes with Wolfenstein
But
3D?
I don't know. Like the game itself isn't that bad. That's what irritates me. Is if it wasn't a propaganda piece, I feel like they could have
Right.
actually made something
Yeah.
decent. I don't remember all the games that it comes with
If
in
I
that
can,
pack. It
if
may.
I can remember,
I'm really not sure.
what did you pay? $7.99 or $9 and something?
It was.
Yeah,
I don't
because
remember how much it was.
$7.99 is comes with the
Exactly.
Wisdom Tree Collection and Spiritual Warfare as its own game. And the Wisdom Tree Collection is Spiritual Warfare, and then it's their other 2 package games, which is a game that emulates. Oh, I'm struggling to remember. I forget what engine it uses, but it was another game that was pretty popular. Looks a lot like Super Mario Brothers 2, honestly. It's a Noah's Ark game where you have to pick up all the animals and carry them to the Ark, and then another game called Joshua,
Right.
I believe, which uses the same
Yeah, I'm
mechanic,
not sure.
but to not great effect. I also I love all these little things because for me as a kid, this was like, I don't know, this was my wheelhouse because all the biblical things that it uses as components in the game, I think
That's
are
what you grew up
about
with. Yeah.
it's about the best that you could have done with Bible games because
Right.
you're collecting the armor pieces that you're collecting are called the armors of God. The armor of God, and
Yeah,
there's a verse in the Bible that talks about the armor of God, and it uses very archaic language, but for instance, the belt of truth that you just received in the King James version of the Bible, which of course I had to read, is called the loins girt about with truth. Which is pretty cool. And yeah,
Of
but
course it
anyway, you
is,
got
yeah.
the belt of truth. You got the sword of the spirit, the shield of something. You got the
The
yeah,
shield
the
of something.
helmet
That's my
of
favorite.
salvation. Um, the boots of feather falling. No, I forget what they all are and then the order that they all are and what they're supposed to do in terms of the metaphorical parable in the Bible. But I just thought that was crazy, and the little people that you make to pray. Yeah, you make them say their prayers before they meet their doom. Um, they're called the workers of iniquity, which is referenced in the Bible only a few times, and basically that just means Satan's minions, people that are for the devil or worship the devil, are workers of iniquity. But I thought it was hilarious that in this game there's literal like construction workers that are the workers of iniquity, and I just the puns, the lovely, lovely puns. So yeah,
So yeah, that's
little Bible lesson for y'all. I'm not religious these days, but that's what's going on in this game. If anybody wanted some context as to why they thought this was a good idea, classic AVGN moment. What were they thinking? That was it.
right. So before the Bible lesson, though, we were asking if we would do just one more level. I said my piece, John. Would you play just one more
Yes,
level, man?
I would, but not on merit alone. Just mostly because as a kid, I never made it that far on this game because I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. Um,
Right.
so I would be interested to see where this game goes and potentially revisiting some more Wisdom Tree games. That's
Right, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like from a technical standpoint, they're not the
no,
worst things I've ever played. So I wouldn't mind checking out a couple more of them, seeing if
right.
they're worth anything or
But
not.
that's all it is
Yeah,
for me personally. Just like a personal venture of mine to consider what these games have to offer and to relive some of those childhood nightmares. But
right.
so yeah, that's all for spiritual warfare. We got just one more on the Just One More Level podcast today. Just
Just
one
one
more
more
game
game.
to wrap up our Christmas special, and it is called Krampus Quest. Krampus,
I
Krampus.
don't know. I would just say Krampus, probably. Yeah,
So that's a really
Krampus.
interesting one, and if you give us just a few minutes on the stream here to set it up, but on the podcast for you guys, it's going to be seamless. After another lovely little Christmas animation. So give us just 1 minute and we'll have it all set up for you. All right, and welcome back for the final game of the podcast today. The last game that we're going to be talking about today is a game called Krampus Quest, and it's literally described on
Yes,
Steam as a Christmas Castlevania game. So so
and
that
that it is.
everybody knows I gotta play me a Christmas Castlevania game. When I saw that, I was like, all
Yeah.
right, that right there is that's a sign. Gotta happen.
and and thankfully it's not terrible.
Yeah,
It has some issues
yeah.
and we'll get into that, but it could have been a
It could have
lot
been
worse
my
than what it
my
is.
my
So I mean,
biggest complaint with Christmas Castlevania right here is it's too slow. You move you move
yes,
and
very
attack
much
too
so.
slow. Castlevania needs to be snappy. You need to really just get that whip right
Yes.
out in front of you real quick. But there's like,
It kind of reminds me of like if Castlevania was a Game
yeah,
Boy game, is
yeah,
kind
it's
of what it makes me
sluggish.
think of.
Like there's a wind up animation for the whip, and that I think kind of ruins it. And you jump way too slow too. You need snappy jumps.
You do, you really
The
do. And there's some other weird things too, like you can't if you whip while you're
mhm,
walking around, you lose
yes,
all momentum instantly. But if you whip while you're in the air, it's like nothing ever
yeah, and
happens. You just keep your
I get
momentum.
it. I'm pretty sure this was a one person project right here, and they were trying to do the
Right.
best they could. They were trying to make a Castlevania game, and it has been done before. Um,
Hmm.
Amateur people make Castlevania like games all the time, and
In fact, we have one in the
right,
works, kind of.
um,
So
right,
eventually, expect
right.
updates in 3 years.
So yeah,
Um,
yeah, somewhere around there. Um, but and I've even heard of some being talked about by Angry Video Game Nerd, actually. Well, of his channel, because he and his friend
right.
Mike, they play games together, and they played one that was on Steam that he recommended, and it's a full price game. Unfortunately, not unfortunately for the creator, that they deserve it, but unfortunately for my pocketbook, it's like a
Right.
$20 game, but it's
Yeah.
definitely worth it. It's modeled after Castlevania 3, so you have the switching character mechanics. And all of the things that come with those,
Okay.
like
Okay.
Alucard being able to turn into a bat, and the little troll guy being able to like jump on top of walls and stick to the ceiling and stuff. So some really interesting things going on. And not only did they make it in that wonderful pixel art NES style, but they really added a lot of things to it too to make it more grand and epic. So, and I
Right.
forget what that one's called. I really wish I could talk about that and let people know where to check that one out. But what I got today is Krampus Quest. So, um, you play as Krampus, obviously. The storyline is that you used to be Santa's right hand man, and for some unknown reason, he banished you and put you in a jail cell. I'm guessing because he feared your power. But this Christmas, Krampus is breaking out of his jail cell, and he's on a mission of revenge. And for it being a one-person project and not having infinite resources at your disposal, and this also wasn't made in a big famous engine either. This wasn't made in Unity.
Well, at least not that's
Yeah,
advertised. It could still be a Unity game or something. It could just be a
yeah.
paid version of
I
it.
think it was.
Um,
Well,
don't
I
really
think
know
he
for
said on
sure,
his
but
itch.io page that this was made in Game Maker.
homebrew. Oh, okay, okay. So that's
Yeah,
still a big engine then. It's not as big as something like Unity or
yeah,
something like that, but it's still a fairly well-known engine. But regardless, though, there's a lot of
yes,
potential here with this game though. And that's the thing that irritates
mm,
me the most about it. So this
yeah,
was a paid for game. It was only $3.99 though.
yes,
It's relatively cheap. And I actually do see a lot
yeah,
of potential
absolutely.
with this game. I mean,
Hmm.
art-wise, for one man, I think a lot
Oh
of the
yeah,
art's pretty good. In the style
hmm,
that he's going for, he's obviously going for something between a Game Boy Color,
hmm,
Game Boy Advance type of feel. It seems like to me, maybe Super Nintendo, but to me, it looks more like a Game Boy Advance
yeah,
kind of
pretty
game, something
close
like
to
that.
NES almost
Um,
with how limited the
that's why it's kind of like Game Boy Color, but with more
yeah,
complexity
yeah,
to it. That's why I'm saying kind of a
hmm,
cross between the two is kind of what it makes me think of. The boss fights are, or the bosses, I don't know.
they're
They're
not bad.
interesting, but overly
Yeah,
simplistic. It's not, it's, yeah, they're not
at
terrible. It's
least
just they're very simple. They have very
yeah,
simple
at
movement
least he
patterns
has
and things
phases
like
and it
that.
hurts when he hits you. I mean,
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Compared to a lot of the games we play
yeah,
on this podcast, this is
yeah,
actually pretty decent. That's not to say there's not problems. Obviously, the movement stuff
hmm,
we talked about already. And one of the other big things for me was the music got
it
really
does. Yeah,
repetitive very quickly.
unfortunately.
It's not bad
Hmm.
at the beginning, but it just loops over and over and over again, and it
I
just
think
becomes
maybe
too
this
much.
deserved to be
Um,
99 cents.
right. I
Even
mean, even
3.99
three
isn't
ninety
bad.
nine, I'm
No,
not
I'm
mad
I'm
about
willing to give
paying.
him that. And
Yeah, but
the trouble I found, and I don't, I think you went straight for the Steam version, so you didn't encounter the same issue. But I originally found
yeah,
this
no,
on
I didn't.
itch.io, and the price on there was $3 or more. You could donate more if you wanted to. So I was like, oh, great, that's pretty cool. And I paid for it, and I downloaded it, and I got ready to play, and it redirected me to my Steam page because I don't know why, and it said I couldn't play this game because I hadn't paid for it. I hadn't paid for it on Steam, and I couldn't figure out how to correctly troubleshoot that issue, so I just paid for it again.
I'm assuming they would have sent you like a code
Yeah,
or something. I'm assuming. I
yeah,
don't really know. I'm not that familiar with how
mm,
itch.io works. I've only ever downloaded free
right,
games. Well, actually, there was one game that I paid for, but it was like a pay what you want, and it didn't.
yeah.
It was just it
Structural,
included the game with it. So I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
and it
structural.
also
So I
didn't
mean,
have a
yeah, I
Steam
don't
port.
really.
So
That's true. Yeah, it didn't have a Steam port at all. Um, but yeah, no. And the reason I don't mind paying
mhm.
$3.99 for this game because there are issues. I don't know how much more of it I'm gonna play. If I'm just a
Yeah,
small spoiler there, but it has so much potential. I don't know how long it's been since the creator's done any
right.
updates or anything like that. But if he just puts a little bit more work into it, I think he actually has a
I
pretty
agree.
good game
Yeah.
going here. Movement is the number one thing that needs to
Yes.
be overhauled. It just needs to be, like John said, just
Yeah.
needs to be snappier. It's a
Yes.
Metroidvania game. It needs to be snappy, and whenever you
Yeah.
responsive. There you go. That's the other word I was thinking of. It needs to be snappy and responsive, and it's just
Yeah.
not
The whip
always.
mechanics are really
There was
frustrating when you get the hook.
yeah, yeah. And it's like and just little weird things like that. With like whenever you do hook onto a
Yeah.
chain that's hanging down, there's no like animation for you ever being close to what you're hooking on, so you just kind of teleport the full length of your whip
Yeah.
away from the chain, which is a little jank. Like just it needs a lot of little finishing touches. This feels like a
Yeah.
beta
Hmm.
almost of a game. And so that's why like I'm hoping the guy puts out some more updates for it, and if he does, I would say it's totally worth it. There are some design choices I
Hmm.
don't quite agree with, like the falling blocks. There's like thwomps
Yeah.
basically throughout the levels, and sometimes they can be really hard to see. They're a little
Right.
bit off screen. It's just kind of annoying, and you have to get so close to them to trigger them that it usually will damage you whenever you like if you don't walk under it and then quickly walk back. It would be nice if they started to fall a little
Yeah.
bit sooner. That way you could trigger them, wait without moving back, and then just continue on forward or whatever. But I mean, there's a really strong
Yeah.
base, and every enemy you kill, you collect souls, which allows you to buy new upgrades like more health, a
Yeah.
stronger chain. There may be other things as well. I don't really know what all of the bonuses are
On
that you
down the
can get
line.
since a lot of them are locked in
Yeah.
the beginning of the game.
I
Yeah.
you know what I really like?
Um,
It's a little thing, but I really like that when you hit an enemy, a little like RPG health bar shows up. I thought I
yeah.
thought
Yeah. No, that's
that
nice
was a
too.
nice
Yeah.
touch that I wasn't really expecting, but I like it, it feels more concussive. It feels like I really hit that guy. I'm watching his health drain away,
Right.
so I thought that was a really cool touch, especially since they're dropping currency for you to collect, so
That is one more
hmm
gripe I have about it, though. So they do drop the
but
souls
then
and
you have
things
to
like that,
hold.
and you can't just
Right.
walk past them. Yeah, it would be nice. It's nice having the option to suck them in
Right.
from a distance in case you killed something that was far away or on a platform that you can't get
Mhm.
back to or whatever. But to have to wait for it to suck in sucks to me. It would be nice if you could just walk over them to collect them for whenever you killed that enemy right in
Right.
front of you or whatever. Um, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, and that's the thing. Like you said, this feels kind of like a beta. It feels like almost it's just a little bit unfinished. So there's not a whole lot of
Right.
gripes to be had about this game. There's not like any game breaking glitches or the
There is one. It's not a glitch so much as just platforms. Some platforms fall
yeah,
whenever you stand on them. And I did notice, and maybe there's some way around it I never found, but it seems best I could tell that there is a section in the second part of the first level where if a platform falls and then you miss a
right.
jump, like a couple
Mhm.
jumps after that or whatever, um, you have to kind of backtrack to try to get
Yeah.
back up to where you were. But that platform never
Even though
respawns
the
that
enemies
falls, so it's
respawn.
impossible to do so.
Yeah.
So that's there
Mhm.
was that, but that was the only game breaking thing I found the entire time that I was playing. If you're watching the stream, it's about to pop up the
Yeah,
section that I'm
and
talking about.
the only way
And
to get out of here is you have to be perfect with the whip mechanic in order to like hook on to
yeah,
something in
yeah, you
order
do.
to like make it to a higher platform to reach the goal. And I
And again, if this is just a beta, that's again the sort of thing that
and
you would
playtesting,
fix
yeah.
as part of, finalizing, yeah, and playtesting, oh, this jump is a little bit too hard, or oh, there's no
Hmm.
way to get back up here if you do this thing wrong or whatever. And so like those are the things I want him to make
Yes.
more. I want him to finish this game is
Hmm.
what it feels like because it seems like an excellent take on a
Yeah.
Metroidvania game with a little bit of a
Hmm.
Christmas spin to it. It just needs more work. It
Yeah,
just
and
needs that
Krampus
polish.
doesn't really have a good game,
But I'm not mad.
so
No, he doesn't. But I'm not mad I
no,
spent three
me
ninety nine
neither.
on it. My personal suggestion would be to, if you do plan on picking it up, if
Hmm.
it's your sort of game or whatever, I would suggest trying to find
Yeah.
it on sale. And because of the problems Jonathan had,
Yep.
definitely get it on Steam. But
And
yeah,
I read in the devlog too that he had to add controller support for the itch.io version because it was a keyboard only, whereas Steam has controller
yes,
support for all their games. So, uh,
yes, because you can
right,
rebind on Steam controller to
right.
keyboard
So,
stuff. Yeah,
if
so
you're a controller player, definitely buy it on Steam, and you won't have to worry about games not having controller support for you because Steam's got your back.
right.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this game, and you know what this game made me want to do? Play Castlevania. So
Yeah, which we probably will
yeah,
end up
so
doing soon. Actually,
sneak
sneak
peek to
peek
the
to
future. Yeah,
the next
so
2 months here.
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what this game made me want to do. And after I played this game, I was playing it, and Amber was kind of watching me play it and stuff, and I was like, seeing Castlevania wouldn't be like this. And then I booted up. I was
Right.
like, look how snappy this is, and I booted up Symphony of the Night, and I
Right.
was like, look at that, look at him go, it's wonderful.
Look at him
Yeah.
go. There is one more thing. Do you know how to save in
No,
this
and
game?
it well,
I
no,
couldn't
you
figure
can
it out.
you can pause and save, quote unquote, but it takes you
Oh, you
right
can?
back.
Okay. I must have just missed that
Like
option.
when you load up a
Because
save
I
file,
had to
it,
restart.
it puts you right back here at the start of the thing. So
Oh, yeah, no. I might have been thinking of a different game now that I think about it. One of the games on this list, there was a save option. Oh, it might have been. No, it wasn't Wisdom Tree. I'm pretty sure it
yeah,
was this
and
one.
that's it. No,
I
because
don't
I
know.
did
I
the
must have
same
just
thing. I
missed it.
saved
I
on
must have
this
just
one, and then
missed
when
it.
I tried to
But
come back to it, it was at the beginning of that stage, and I was like, oh, maybe I didn't make it far enough. But I'm pretty sure I fought a boss. So
what? Well, no, there's one where I just vividly remember there being a load screen and it was just a list of save slots and they were all empty, even though I had made progress.
okay,
So I don't remember if it was this game or something or a different one
okay.
though. I'm not sure. I could just
Yeah,
be
I don't remember that for this game,
misremembering
but
a little bit. But
yeah, it's
also, I found a secret right
did
here. I
you?
thought that was pretty cool.
Oh,
So
the chest right there.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just
I found that too.
yeah, I just accidentally fell. And that's again, that's just another thing about this game that shows
Right.
that it has potential. There's little secrets and things all over the place and so many chests and things like
Mm.
that to find. Like he obviously put thought and
Yeah,
care into it and then just didn't do that last little
Just
bit
a
that it
little bit of
needed to make
polishing.
it.
This could have been a $5 game, man.
Yeah.
And
Right, right.
get it. All right. Um,
So,
but yeah, that was Krampus Quest. I just wanted to finish this one off because this is the only game in the list other than that little arcade title that I would say, yes, I want to play just one more level of Krampus Quest. I want to see what else it has in store.
yeah.
I want to see what it can do for me. I want to see if maybe it gets better because your whip does get a little bit faster when you get the hook. So maybe,
Maybe when
yeah,
you get
maybe
the
when you
next
get the next
upgrade.
upgrade, you start moving faster and you start whipping faster. And Castlevania, when you upgrade your whip, it upgrades length, but maybe this one it's speed. Who's to say?
Maybe.
The only other qualm I have with the whip controls is a qualm I also have with Castlevania. You can only whip in certain directions. As a matter of fact, I believe the only
Yeah.
main entry in the Castlevania franchise where you can whip in any other direction but in front of you is Castlevania 4, and you can whip in 8 directions. On Castlevania 4, you can whip. Yeah, this guy's the worst. He steals your soul energy. Um, you can whip straight above you, to the 2 diagonals above you, side to side, 2 diagonals below you, and directly below you. So that's really, really, really,
Right.
really nice, and I don't know why they didn't bring that back.
I haven't played enough of the
Hmm.
Castlevania games to really know. I thought you could in more than
It's
just
it,
one
I'm
Castlevania game, but I
I'm
know the
sure
first
I'm sure
one you
that you
can. I know the
can,
first
and
one's
I
literally only.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, all 3 of the NES games are the same. You can only whip in front of you. But
In front of
in
you.
Castlevania 3, different characters have different weapons, and of course you have your sub weapons
Right.
in Castlevania, like your
Yeah. 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 Which is something this game's oddly
yeah,
missing. Maybe it's something you
true,
unlock later on, but this game actually
right,
doesn't have any
because you
sub
got
weapons that
your
I know of.
projectiles you can throw, and then you got your boomerang weapons and your axes, which go in an arch, and your flames you throw on the ground and stuff like that.
Right.
But In Castlevania 3, different characters have different weapons. I think Alucard has a sword. Um, Sypha has magic. So there's different things like that that you can use in the game. But as far as the Belmont whip, the Morning Star, uh, you can only whip in front of you, except for Castlevania 4. And maybe the Genesis titles after Castlevania 4. Because there were
Oh
SNES and
yeah,
Genesis
maybe,
titles, and
maybe.
actually Castlevania Bloodlines, I believe it is
Question
the
mark?
game that's right before Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is a continuation of that story, that famous opening scene with Dracula saying, "What is a man?" but a miserable little pile of secrets. That's from the end of Bloodlines. That's how Symphony of the Night starts up. But enough talk. Have I?
Okay.
But enough talk about Castlevania. This is the Christmas special. We're talking about Krampus. We're supposed to be in the Christmas. They're supposed to be
Krampus
in the Christmas
Quest.
spirit. I never saw the Krampus movie. Did you?
I don't
Yeah,
believe
I
so. I do remember seeing one
mm,
Christmas horror movie when I was a
was
child,
it
but I
Jack
don't remember
Frost?
what it was.
Oh my God,
It
because that's
might
the
have
one that
been.
I
Actually,
saw
I
when I
think it
was a
was. I
child.
think it was Jack
Because
Frost.
my
I'm
lovely
pretty sure it
grandpa used to
was.
record VHS tapes off of cable, because he had the premium channels. And my mom mentioned to him that I wanted Jack Frost because it was coming out on tape, and he said he'll record it for me because he saw that it was on the other day.
There
So he recorded Jack Frost for me on a VHS tape,
you
and
go.
we watched it, and my mom was like, "This isn't right." Um, yeah, that's crazy. No, I've seen other Christmas horror movies. There was one with I think I told you about with no, I'm thinking of something different. I was about to say the one with Harley from Epic Mealtime that I was telling you about
What?
before from Epic
Yeah,
Mealtime.
I
It was like
vaguely
an anthology
remember.
movie. I've seen an anthology Christmas horror film, or I think it was just called Holidays. I think it was on Netflix, and one of them was the Easter Bunny as well. There was like
What the
Christmas,
hell?
Easter, Halloween, and something else. It was anthology based, and the Easter Bunny one was the most terrifying by far.
You underestimate how
Yeah.
poor my memory is. I remember us talking about Epic Mealtime, dude,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, he was in. I'm pretty sure that was the one. I don't remember for sure though. There's also a movie on Hulu I've been wanting to watch for a while called Puka. It's a Christmas horror movie. Puka's like looks like an animatronic type
Nice.
character. Not really sure.
Help
Um,
give everybody some ideas if they're feeling
yeah,
festive
some
on
festive Christmas movies.
December
But
24th when this comes
for
out.
as far
Yeah,
as
yeah.
this Christmas
Sit down with
special
the
goes,
family and
Amber made a suggestion to me that I can't
yeah.
believe I didn't think about. Home Alone. There
Oh
are
yeah,
Home
there are
Alone
Home Alone
video
video
games for
games,
the
huh?
Nintendo and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Write that down
Yeah,
for
I
2021.
just I could not believe I didn't think about that. Home Alone, Christmas game for the special here. That's probably definitely going to
Right.
be included next year. Um, for the Christmas
Yeah.
games.
It's an
You
excellent
can make
idea,
the
yeah.
list next year. I don't know what. I don't know. I just
Yeah. I mean, Christmas is a
it
hard one to find
is.
games for,
My
but
God, there's so
wow.
much
Wow.
Halloween. Holy cow!
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just fits perfectly with video games because it's like
Right?
monsters and
Yeah.
magic and all that. Christmas is a jolly dude handing
Right.
out
Yeah. Next
presents.
year
Like,
for Halloween, we
I
could
don't.
do a Castlevania month. We could do a Resident Evil month. We could do an indie
Hoping
month.
next year we'll have an update on our
Right.
own project.
Right.
That would be nice.
Right.
Throw that
That'd be
in
nice.
there,
Yeah.
but
But
we'll see
that,
how
yeah,
that
that,
goes.
oh my
So,
God, so much. When I was on itch.io looking for games, that like 80% of itch.io is Halloween. Well, not Halloween, but horror
I
in
believe
general,
it,
just horror
honestly.
games. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
but yeah, so I really enjoyed Krampus Quest. I will play just one more level. Um, on the
I'm on the
fence.
fence.
That's not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
That's better than you've been for the whole episode today. Yeah.
Everything else on this, yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Except for of course Santa's Delivery Mission. Fantastic,
Yes,
fantastic
that
little
one was
game.
excellent. Excellent.
Um,
excellent for
But
what it was, for
developer,
sure.
if you happen to be watching this, I'll probably spam your itch.io page like I did that other guy. If you happen to be watching this, you got great stuff, man. I love Castlevania, and I really enjoyed this, and I'm definitely going to be playing more of it. Just yeah, just
Give it
give it
some
some polish.
polish.
If I can make a few suggestions, maybe try to find some royalty-free music tracks to substitute what's going on here, or
Vary it up a little bit and
maybe
whatnot.
with
Yeah.
whatever money you've happened to make off of this, just hire a beat master, and
Right. And I don't know like how if the developer does
right
see this somehow. I don't know how you feel about things like Indiegogo and that other one
mm,
that's really popular that I
Kickstarter,
can't think of the name of.
yeah,
Kickstarter. But like you have a demo
yeah,
right here. Like
absolutely,
you could be like, this is my game that I wanna create, but I need to finish it up. But I just need the funds
hmm
to hire, an artist to round
hmm
off some of the edges, or a musician to create me some new music, or some play test, or maybe not play testers, because I
yeah,
mean you got the demo, but
right,
you get the point. Like you could probably have a successful Indiegogo or
absolutely,
Kickstarter or something using this as your
yeah,
basis. I mean, because again, what you
yeah,
have is excellent. It just
hmm
needs polish.
absolutely. Hire us. I'll be creative director. Christian can be a programmer. Come on, get this done. Um, but
There you go. There you go. Never used this engine before, but
oh,
I'm sure we could figure it
absolutely.
out.
We'll rebuild it if we have to. I'm sure he has a catalog of art assets. We'll just load it up into Unity and
There we
rebuild
go.
it from the
There we
ground
go.
up, just like they did with Angry Video Game Nerd 1 and 2 on Steam, rebuilt from the ground up. Also
Oh
available on
Lord.
the
Here
PlayStation
we
and
go.
Xbox networks.
So that's it for the Christmas special, everybody. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you
Yep,
enjoy your holidays.
absolutely. We appreciate everybody coming out and watching. You didn't have to, but you did, and we appreciate it very much. Christian, before we get off here, where can we find you?
Right, yeah, I'm on YouTube and Twitch. Stream all the Steam. Haven't been doing much around this time of year because holidays
Yep.
are stressful and busy. But hopefully here in the new year, I'll be posting a little bit more. It's mostly just like Twitch VODs and things on
Yes.
YouTube. But yeah, and then also Twitter, of course. You can check me out,
hmm
stream the Steam. It's just if you have game suggestions or just want to shoot me a line or whatever, that's one of the best places to do it. As well as, of course, Discord that Jonathan and
Yeah.
I share. You can hit us up on our Discord server. Links in the description for all that stuff. And Jonathan, how about
You
you,
can
man?
find me on the Just One More Level podcast YouTube channel, of course. You can
Of
also find
course,
me on my channel.
like, comment,
Like, comment,
subscribe. Come on
subscribe,
now.
ring that bell, destroy that bell. I
There you go.
destroy that
Destroy it.
like button, guys. 10,000 likes. We're gonna get Christian to play Earthworm Jim again. So
Yep.
you can also find me on my main channel, The Dorse Man, where I do similar things to Christian, VODs and highlight reels and just regular videos on games and pixel art occasionally. Sometimes I do pixel art vlogs about, like Christian mentioned, we have been intermittently off and on working on putting a little project of our own together. So I've posted a few pixel art vlogs on there. Um, so if that's your bag, come check it out. You can also find me on Twitch TV at The Dorseman, and on Twitter and Instagram, The Dorseman. Twitter's John Dorsey1, I think. So if you're interested in checking any of that out, we're going to try to structure maybe a little bit better of a social media presence after the new year. Maybe I'll spearhead that a little bit
Right.
so that more people are kind of updated on when this is going to be happening. I noticed that we had little bit better of a turnout this evening on the stream side of things for people, and all I had to do was blast it out on Facebook and Twitter. So maybe that's going to be a better way we can stay connected with you guys in the audience and let you know when we'll be doing stuff on stream and having fun. So look forward to that, and Merry Christmas. And I think, are we going to have an episode?
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays if
Yeah,
you don't
happy
celebrate
holidays.
Christmas.
Happy.
I don't think we're doing a New Year
Yeah.
themed episode, but there will be one more episode
Okay.
before the end of the year, and then season 2
Yeah.
will start. So
Is that how we're
There we go.
going to do seasons? We haven't really talked about it. Just
Yeah,
once
just every
every
year.
year. Every year's
every
a
year's
season.
a season.
Okay.
Every year's a season.
Short,
Nice
short,
and simple.
short season 1.
So
But
yeah, well, I mean, what, 3 months
yeah,
now we've been doing this, something like that. We started back in
right.
September,
It'll
the
be
end of September, basically.
with the
but
next
still.
episode. It'll be 14 years. 14 years. 14
years we've been doing this podcast.
Episodes and 2 holiday specials. So no, that's not too bad.
Right.
For a first season. And
yeah, hopefully that just means we've got all the kinks and everything worked out in the first season, and season 2 we'll be able to like John said, starting with the new year, hopefully we'll be able to get some more of our socials and websites and all that stuff a little bit
figured out.
More linked together. Yeah. So,
but
it's been a learning experience.
Looking forward to a 50 episode season 2, guys.
Well, probably more. 52 weeks in a year plus
100 episode season 2, guys. So. We're gonna be great. 2
episodes a week from now on. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're just gonna start doing an episode a day. Yeah. I mean, shit, if enough of you start watching and we can, make this in a living, I'd do 2 episodes.
2 episodes a day?
Screw it. Let's do 2 episodes a day.
Who doesn't have the time to listen to 2 hours of podcast every day? As well as at least 2 hours of playtime for the games, except for the multi-game episodes where we do like 6 hours of playtime. It's going to be fine. As we got this, it's gonna be fine, guys. Just donate to us on Acast, donate to us on Patreon. We're gonna be making this. It's gonna be fine.
Right. No. Which we haven't got yet,
Do you have to have enough clout for Patreon? Do you have to have...
I don't think you technically have to have enough clout for Patreon or anything. It's just, it seems kind of beggy, in my opinion, if you start like, hey, you have my Patreon and things when you have like 20 followers. Yeah. Like, so, eventually I'm not against that sort of thing. But at this point, I think we're still in the doing it for fun stage of our
I hope to God we never lose
podcasting here. And... yeah, no, of course. But, I mean, obviously, it would be nice to do this as a money-making venture at some point, but that's not the goal of what we're doing here. This is a couple guys having fun and wanting to spread awareness for some small games, as well as just spread our love of video games with everybody else here.
So that's...
we've been saying goodbye for 20 minutes now.
That's a classic Ohio goodbye right there.
Yeah, it really is. So we're going to log off one more time. Happy holidays, everybody.
Merry
Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.